All right, welcome. So at this stage, ideally you have gotten your handle attached and you've added a small coil to the top and bottom of your piece, and it should be starting to firm up. Make sure you've gone through and smoothed out all your joints. You should not really see that added coil. If you do, you might have to go through with your modeling tool and just do a little bit more cleaning up. At this stage, I would also recommend carving in your name. Make sure you carve in your initials or your full name. Um, so I'm going to put RB, my first and last name, and if you can put your block, that would be helpful as well with your carving tool. The carving should be pretty clean. You know, you can see that there's not a lot of little bits of clay stuck in there. Tiny bit, but that's because my piece is firmed up. So it's actually perfect for me to do some drawing into it or some attachments. So for this assignment, I'd like you to either do some drawing or some attachments, or you could do a little bit of both. I love the way that this person added the roots to their piece, but they also carved in some bark. Here's a piece that I made a long time ago, and I carved some houses into it. So think about if you want your design to go around the entire piece or just be on one side. So for today's example, I think I'll do like a nature design. So I am a nature lover after all. So I have my original clay that I used to make my handle, and I had some left over. Rather than use it super thick, I actually rolled it out a little bit thinner with my roller. I got rid of my rulers because I didn't really need those anymore. I don't want this to pop out too much. I want it to be kind of a soft attachment. So I've made that quite thin. You don't want to go too thin, but you can go quite a bit thinner than the rulers will allow you to. And then I think I'll carve out a leaf or something like that. So again, the minimum due to our time is that you include at least one attachment. And it'd be great to see you do some other surface work too, but I know that time is limited. Okay, so there's my leaf, and then to attach it to the piece, think about where you're going to attach it. I might do a variety of leaves, so I might place a few throughout my piece. If you're getting any cracking on your piece, like I am here too, you can come through with a little bit of water or a little bit of slip and just try to fill it. Do not soak your mug. That will actually make the cracking worse. Okay, so now I'm going to figure out where I want my leaf to go. So I think for now I will put it here. So I'm going to kind of score the general area where it's going to be attached. I'm not worried if it's a little bit messy. I can clean that up later. And then I am going to score my leaf. The better you score, the more likely the piece is to stay on. I don't have my toothbrush handy dandy toothbrush right now, so I'm just applying some slip with my finger, getting it into all the nooks and crannies, and also doing that with my texture on my piece. And there's my lovely leaf. And I'm going to go through and just kind of smush it down a little bit. And as you can see, it's thin, so it's not overpowering. You don't want something that takes over the entire mug and makes it really heavy, right? I feel like my leaf could definitely use some texture, so I'm going to go back in and add some veining to it. And then I'm going to go around and clean up any little bits of scoring that are on the outside. But you can also use a paintbrush to get into those nooks and crannies as well. If you'd like to carve on your piece and it's on the firm side, you can go ahead and do that. So, you know, maybe in addition to my leaf, I'll add some carving on top of it, but maybe I'll do some smaller leaves throughout the piece as well. If you do see a lot of pilling, you might need to go back and just go over your drawing again, or even take a dry paintbrush and try to remove that before it gets fired. So as you can see, there's a little bit of pilling on my drawing. It looks a little bit messy to me, so I might go back over it again just to remove any extra little bits of clay. Once you are done with your mug, just a reminder that you should keep it covered and let it dry very slowly. It's probably better to even bring it into school a little bit wet. It'll be less likely to break that way. So have fun, and I look forward to seeing what you create.